Hello students, very good morning. We have started with our interesting topic, that is science, control and coordination, right? So control and coordination, what we discussed in our previous video, we discussed about the structure of neuron, because neuron is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system, right? So whatever responds to the stimulus because of the neuron. So there are many activities of our body because of the neuron. Neuron is the one which will take the signals right from sense organs to the brain, and from brain to the respective organs it will bring it back. That is what we are calling neuron as the structural and functional units of a nervous tissue. Okay, right. So today what we are going to learn? We are going to learn about the human nervous system. So what are all the types? How many will come? And what are all the structure, functions? That all in detail we are going to discuss in today's class, that is human nervous system. So for our convenience students, so to study, to understand, to know the functioning of the parts clearly, the scientists, they have made human nervous system mainly of three types. In three categories they have divided. Okay. The first one is central nervous tissue. Central. Hope you people are also writing. This is central nervous tissue called as CNS. It is called as CNS. The second one is peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. So it is called as PNS. There is one more students, the third type of the nervous system, that is called as autonomic nervous system. Hope put it here, you can see, otherwise Vedanantali, autonomic nervous system. So it is called as ANS. So basically we are dividing the human nervous system in the three categories, students. One is CNS, PNS and the ANS. What the central nervous system consists of? It consists of our brain and the spinal cord. It consists of brain and the spinal cord. These two parts we are taking under CNS. What about PNS? It includes two types of nerves called as cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Autonomic nervous system includes the two systems. I will write it clearly up and down. It includes the two systems called as sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay, students? Sympathetic and parasympathetic. See here, central nervous system, it includes our brain and spinal cord. These two parts comes under CNS. PNS, cranial nerves, the nerves which arises from our brain. The nerves which arises from our brain called as cranial nerves. The nerves which arises from our spinal cord called as spinal nerves. Okay, these two types of nerves and the third one is hindbrain. Forebrain, midbrain, and the hindbrain. If you can't see below, students, I am telling, take down. Your forebrain includes two parts, that is cerebrum and diencephalon. Diencephalon. P-H-A-L-O-N. Cephalon. Okay. Midbrain, it is a small portion. Okay. The hindbrain again includes the three parts called as, here I will write, cerebellum, pons, and medulla oblongata. So let me tell you, students, our brain is divided into three parts called as forebrain, midbrain, and the hindbrain. This is the hindbrain. Forebrain with the two parts called as cerebrum and diencephalon. Midbrain is a small portion we will discuss. Hindbrain includes cerebellum, pons, and the medulla oblongata. So take down, students. Yes, you can observe till the end, no problem. Okay? Yes, students. Let us start with the human brain. Yes, human brain, as you know, what is the function? Very important part of our body. Whatever the functions of our body are taking place, it may be eating, smelling, remembering, recognizing, reasoning, willpower, talking, writing, reading, seeing the video, understanding. Yes, how many activities we are doing per day? Right? So all these activities are controlled by our important part of the body, that is the brain. So today we are going to discuss how is the structure of brain, in how many parts it has divided, and how it functions. Okay? So as you know, the first part of the body, in the head region, we find the brain. Right, students? Yes. So this brain, it has covered with a structure. What skull you used to call? Skull. Okay? So what is skull? Skull is one of bony structure. Means bones. Bony structure. So that skull is called as cranium. It is called as the cranium. It protects. How you are going to put helmet? No, like that. The natural one it is. It will protect our brain from the injuries, this, that, everything. Okay? Right. So see this structure, students. I think it is clear. So if you see the structure of brain outside, here white color, can you see? One zigzag type they have made. So this is called as the cranium. What is cranium? Normal words will call it as a skull. It is made up of bones. So bony saccade or bony structure, bony box type the structure, we will call it as a cranium, which protects our brain from the injuries and all. Right, students? Okay. What is the weight of our brain? Any idea? The average weight of the human body is around 1200 to 1400 grams. Average weight of human brain is 1200 to 1400 grams. Coming back to the structure, students, you can see here, this white color we will call it as the first portion of the brain. Okay, the middle one it is called as the midbrain. Here this portion is the midbrain. The beginning one is the forebrain. The last part of the brain is the hindbrain. And midbrain will continue as our vertebral column. vertebral column, nothing but the spinal cord. Backbone, what we used to say, no, that one. See students, this is the forebrain. This middle portion we will call it as the midbrain, and here the neck what starts now, there it is called as the hindbrain. It will continue with our spinal cord. Okay, like this we are dividing the brain in 3 parts. So before we start with the brain, so just now we said brain it will continue with our spinal cord. Here can you see this portion, it will continue as our spinal cord. Both brain and spinal cord, these are covered with the 3 layers. To protect this, we are having 3 layers. The layers are called as meninges. The layers are called meninges. What are these meninges? The layers which are covering our brain and spinal cord. So these meninges like outer, inner, outer, middle and inner, like that these 3 are there. And for our convenience, they have given me the different names to these 3 layers of the brain. The outer layer, it is called as durameter. Let me write here. Outer layer is called durameter. I think you can see. The middle one is called middle layer. This layer, it is called as arachnoid. Arachnoid. And you find one more innermost layer. This inner layer is called as pyometer. Outer membrane is called durameter. Middle layer is called arachnoid meter, you can call. Inner one is called as the pyometer. Like this we find 3 layers covered our brain as well as the spinal cord. What the 3 layers are called? Meninges. In between these 3 layers, you find a fluid, a liquid type of the substance you find. So that substance is called cerebrospinal fluid. It is a fluid, liquid type, which is between brain and a spinal cord. So they have given the name as cerebrospinal fluid. It is called as CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. What is the function of this fluid? It will flow between brain and spinal cord. Just for your example, a very rough diagram. Like this you find the brain, it will continue with the spinal cord. Okay. So between brain and spinal cord, this cerebrospinal fluid will move. It will pass whatever the required nutrients are there, that it will pass. So that is the function of CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. It will protect brain and spinal cord from the injuries and passing the nutrients which are all required. Okay students? Yes. Let us start with the first part of the brain. Which is the first part of the brain? Forebrain. See, till here what you find now? So this is the forebrain. This middle portion is called as the midbrain and this last portion is called as the hindbrain. Okay, so we are going to begin with the forebrain. Forebrain includes how many parts, students? 2 parts, cerebrum and balancephalon. So let me start with cerebrum. Okay. So this part is the cerebrum portion, this full part. Can you see some foldings here? Your brain surface is not here. It is having so many foldings it is having. Like this you find the foldings, right? So these foldings, ridges like foldings, are called as convolutions. What these are called? Convolutions. Okay. Right students? cerebrum, right? And you find all these foldings, convolutions. Here you can see better, students. See here how you find the convolutions. These convolutions increases the surface area. It increases the surface area of the brain, right? One paper or cloth, something you have folded with so many foldings and you have kept it in one place, like that it looks. And that increased surface area gives us the more intelligence. As the foldings increases, our intelligence capacity also increases in students. So this is called as the convolutions. Okay? So this cerebrum part, it is divided in two parts, like outer part and the inner part. Outer part is called as cortex and inner part is called as medulla. Outer part is called as cortex, inner part is called as the medulla. In the cortex, what happens, students? Already you know the structure of neuron. So this is the structure of neuron with the ends. This first part, what it is called? Cyton. The cyton comes in the cortex region and axon comes in the medulla region. As well as cortex forms the grey matter and medulla forms the white matter. Like this we find the two parts of the cerebrum called as outer and the inner. Outer part and the inner part called as cortex and the medulla. Okay? Right. Next. If you take this brain, okay. Diagram, students. Like this you find. Okay. So this brain, if this cerebrum, if you divide like this, hope you are understanding. If you divide like this, means how your brain appears like this. Huh? So you are getting two halves. You are dividing your brain in two equal halves. See, like this if you divide, you are getting two parts. One is called right part, one is called as the left part. So with what names we are calling this? We are calling it as, we have to write, students, left cerebral hemisphere and right cerebral hemisphere. These two parts are called as right cerebral hemisphere as well as left cerebral hemisphere. Okay. How these two are connected? Are they separated completely? No. Here all you find the connection of the nerves. The connection of the nerves between two halves, it is called as corpus callosum. Corpus callosum. The connection between two halves, that is called as corpus callosum. There are so many nerves, you find neurons, like that there is a connection. Okay, fine. Right cerebral hemisphere, it is connected with our left side body parts, and the left cerebral hemisphere is connected with our right side body parts. Like this you find the connection of the nerves. Means what? If any right side body part is paralyzed, what is the meaning? There is a problem with your left cerebral hemisphere. Okay, students? Like that the cross connections we find between the two hemispheres. Okay. Along with that, see this structure, students. Can you see here? This is the portion for speech, sight, hearing, taste, smell, facial expression. It is for the movement of your arms, movement of your neck, movement of your legs. Like this. This is the enlarged portion of cerebrum. If you see the part of cerebrum, it is having different sides, different area for different functions. To remember, to recall, to reason, for your memory, for your movement of legs, movement of your trunk, movement of your arms, movement of your neck, facial expressions, it may be the taste and smell, hearing, reading, for everything you are having different sides in the part of the cerebrum. So whatever the impulses are coming from the sense organ, they will go to the respective part. See, if you are reading, okay, your eyes will send the impulses to the brain, especially to this part, and this part will become activated. It will give you the signal, what is that, how to read, like that, and it will come back to the brain, right? Like that we find the signals. That is what the cerebrum, it is called as seat of consciousness. It is called as seat of consciousness. So what do you mean by consciousness? It is having, yes, it is having different areas for different functions. That is what our cerebrum is called as the seat of consciousness. Right, students? This much is about the brain. So let me recall. Brain with the three parts: forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. We started with the forebrain with the two parts, that is cerebrum and diencephalon. We started with the first part, that is cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. It is called as seat of consciousness. It is having so many foldings, ridges. These ridges are called convolutions. It is divided as outer cortex and inner medulla. And like this, if you divide, it is having two parts, that is right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere. Okay, students? Yes. Remaining next part of the brain, that is diencephalon, we'll discuss in our next class. Okay? Take down today's work, students. First question. Draw a neat labeled diagram of human brain. Second one. Why cerebrum is called seat of consciousness? Third question. What makes the cerebrum to have larger surface area? Okay, students? So, complete this much work. Update yourself. We will continue in your next class. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day.